Hi everyone, hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about flare-ups. So flare-ups is something that we all experience. I did a video for you guys the other day. I was having a flare-up with some of my hamstring pain on my sort of uninjured side. And yeah, it doesn't matter who you are, practitioner, doctor, chiropractor, physio, osteopath or patient, you can get a flare-up, okay? And for this video, if you haven't watched the circle of function video I did a few weeks ago, you're going to need to scroll down and watch that one first, okay, before you watch this video. Otherwise, all the stuff I'm going to talk about in this video probably isn't going to make that much sense for you. So first off, what we want to talk about is what is actually happening when we get a flare-up. Well, it's quite simple. When you have a flare-up, you have stepped outside your circle of function. So there's many common misconceptions with this. The first common misconception is that I've re-damaged, I've re-injured myself. Flare-up most of the time does not mean that. A lot of the time people think they're back at square one, so all the work you've done to get where you are is now undone because of that flare-up. Also not true, okay? You can get back to exactly where you were just before the flare-up quite quickly, usually quicker than it took you to get there in the first place. So don't panic, okay? We need to know, well, you guys need to know, we all need to know what a flare-up actually means. And basically a flare-up is simply your body's way of telling you that you found a way to manage your back pain that it wasn't ready for, okay? So whether that's doing too much or too little, it's just your body saying, no, you've not quite got that right, I need you to tweak something and change it because that doesn't work for me, okay? Now, flare-ups, from our experience, come from doing something that the body's not ready for, or doing something that is normal for you, like cleaning, bending down, picking something up, whatever, but your body is under different conditions, so it's under different stresses at that time. So what those two things have in common is that in both those cases, you've exceeded your circle of function. You've gone beyond the edge of the circle. You've gone into the Goldilocks zone and kept going. Now, if that flare has happened because you just did something that you weren't ready for, all that means is you've gone too hard when building yourself up, often with your exercise. You've just gone a little bit too much and you've gone over the edge. Okay? That is not a problem. You just got to stay calm, let your body calm back down over the next couple of days, and then try building back up again. That's all you got to do. Really, really easy. Okay. What you'll need to do is to build yourself back up slower. Okay. Paying attention to all the other variables like sleep and the diet and your overall activity levels and everything else. Or you can just add more variation into the thing you're doing. So if you're trying to work on like bending, for example, maybe you just need to throw in some other different exercises in there with that to take the stress off the bending positions, okay? Now, this type of flare-up can come from the dose being too high or the intensity being too high. So if we talk about bending, maybe you've just done too many bends, all right? We've done too many bends in that session, too much work on that thing, the dose is too high, we've done too many of them, and that's where we then get a flare-up. Now that could happen over a period of days, for example. You could just do loads and loads of cleaning, tidying at home, whatever, loads of bending and picking up, and it could happen. Or it could be too high of an intensity. So it could happen because you're doing some bending at home, but you're picking up a weight in your workout, and that weight's just too heavy for you. And you exceed the circle very quickly rather than slowly. Now, if it was something that you did, that's normally within your circle, but you've ended up with pain, it's because the conditions that you've done that normal thing under have changed. So you've got to ask yourself questions in that situation. Have I just been doing loads and loads of stuff lately? Have I been really busy and I've just increased my dose a little bit too quickly? Possibly. Have I just been super busy and I've not switched off and I've not relaxed and I've not let my body rest? Could be that. How stressed have you been? Have you been really stressed? You've got a lot on your mind. How's your diet been? How's your sleep been? there's all those questions that we need to ask yourself, because if you can ask yourself that, and we can then get our finger on, okay, it was that's a really important thing for me. So what we teach people is you can't always figure out where a flare-up has come from. Okay, you can't always figure out why it's happened. Sometimes it has just happened and we've just got to move on from that. Sometimes we can figure it out. We can put our finger on it, and that then provides you with a really, really important learning opportunity, because it tells you, okay, so I've had really poor quality sleep over the weekend. We had some friends around or whatever, drinking loads of alcohol, and now I've had a flare-up a couple of days later. Okay, so we now know that quality and quantity of sleep is super, super important for you. So we want to try and get our finger on that if possible. If we can't, it's okay. We've just got to move forward. So what we teach people in the spinal recovery program and in clinic is to think about flare-ups like Think about flare-ups like having a hot shower when you've got sunburn. So you've been out in the sun all day. We've all done it. Put enough sun cream on or whatever. You then get sunburn. Okay, the sun has damaged your skin. You then get into the shower. The shower's on hot, and it makes the sunburn sting a lot more. Now, it's not that the heat from the water is damaging the skin more. It's simply that the heat from the water is making the sunburn hurt more. So your skin has become very sensitive to heat because of the damage that occurred previously. So then having a hot shower on top of that makes it hurt more. That in itself is what a flare-up is. You're not re-damaging your body. Your body's already healed most of the time from the initial injury. It's purely just that you're making your spine hurt more. So with all of that stuff in mind, what we use with people is a 3-step process. Okay, the 3-step process to how to manage your flare-up. Okay, so we call it the flare-up toolkit. So number 1, stay calm. Number 2, stay active. And number 3, stay patient. All right. So stay calm is because if you start to become very, very emotional, that's going to affect how you behave, and it's going to affect the overall sensitivity of your body. That's probably going to lead to your flare-up getting out of control, not calming back down, getting worse. So staying calm, vital. All right. You can be annoyed and you can be fed up, and it's frustrating. I've been there, but we've got to quickly move from that mindset to a calm mindset to allow our body to relax, and then from that position we can then rationally assess where we're at. You need to stay active, because the single worst thing you can do when you have a flare-up is to just rest. Go and lay in bed or just go sit on the sofa and wait for it to go away, okay? We know that will make it take longer and possibly lead to a chronic flare-up, so a long-term flare-up. The reason for that is because just resting will allow your circle of function to decrease in size, and that makes it harder to then get going again, all right? But we know that you can't, when you're staying active, you can't just keep pushing through pain. All right, so you got to avoid the aggravating activities, but keep generally active. Okay, that's very, very important. We've got to try and keep you going. The final step, step 3, is stay patient. Now, stay patient is there because you've got to be patient and consistent. All right, with the first 2 steps to actually get yourself back to normal. So if you can't be patient and consistent, then what's probably going to happen is you're going to cause another flare-up again pretty quickly. We're adding more sensitivity onto the sensitivity which occurred because of sensitivity in the first place. So we're pushing our circle smaller and smaller. So be patient, be calm, and be consistent with your activity and working on your mindset. Okay, you've got to give your body the time it needs to calm everything back down. And that's it. So that's our 3-step process. Stay calm, stay active, and stay patient. That's all you need really when you have a flare-up. It's what I use. Sam's always laughing at me because I'm flaring myself up all the time. I'm always working at that very, very top end of my Goldilocks zone, and with that increases my likelihood of flare-ups. But using that 3-step process, I can stay on top of things and get myself back on track as quickly as possible. So I hope that helps, and I hope you guys gain something from that and that you better understand your flare-ups now. I will be back later in the week. I look forward to catching up with you all again then. As always, any requests for topics to cover, let me know. If you've got any questions about this specifically, then stick a comment below, and one of us will get back to you as soon as possible. Until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.